Here are the Purelies. So sweet, so cuddly, yet behind their fluffy faces lurk truly menacing beasts. And they're not alone. The Mimigols are here too, ready to unleash chaos and diamond. But how strong are these pals really though? Well, you're about to find out why Mimigol Purely is so adorably diabolical. Alrighty, here we go. We open with no Mimigols, but we can work with this. So here's the plan. We'll want to set up our Purely so that we can go into our super awesome boss monster, X-Purely Noor. She's our most powerful fluffball and you'll later see why. So how are we going to bring her out? Her summoning condition is pretty steep as she requires a Purely with at least 5 materials attached. Sounds tough, right? But it's a good thing that we have several ways to do this. Because we luckily opened with our limited copy of Purely Delicious Memory, we can bring out our chunkiest fluffball. Go, eat Purely Plump! But before we let Plump go on an all-you-can-eat feast, we're going into Mimigols. Our Purelis are level 1 monsters, so that means that we have a bridge to go into Giant Mimigol, which helps us grab our Mimigol starter. Go, Mimigol Maker! As the Mimigols begin to show up, you may wonder, what's so good about bringing out the Mimigols in a Purely deck? Well, you see, something that Purely sometimes struggles with is not having a card to discard for the quick play spells. So Mimigol helps with that while also providing some field interruption. Plus Mimigols are fun! Now that we got a card, we can let our chunky fluffball eat. Here you go, Plump! Because Plump only has 3 materials on herself, we'll still need to get 2 more materials in order for us to go into our most powerful fluffball. But how will we get them? Well, it's a good thing that Plump can eat more using her effect. And now we've met the summoning condition. Go, X-Purely Noor! But we're not stopping there. We'll also bring out our pampered fluffball. Go, eat Purely Beauty! We have a super awesome board with a good amount of interruptions. But we're facing Fiendsmith, so we can't let our guard down. Not surprisingly, Fiendsmith is usually run with 2 or 3 other engines like Primite and another one that you'll see soon. We definitely don't want them grabbing Primite Drill Beam, so we'll do this. Go, Mimigol Throne! Things might be looking good for us now, but here's where some trouble begins. Darn, Bagooska floodgates our monsters. On the bright side, our Noor remains unaffected since she has 6 materials on her, but you'll soon see that even our most powerful fluffball isn't unstoppable. Since a choke point for Fiendsmith is stopping sequence, we'll hit them there. Alright, it's time! Go, X-Purely Noor! Wait, what happened? Isn't Noor immune to all effects? Well, you see, Noor is immune, but only when she has 5 materials on her. The moment we detached 2 materials to use her effect, Bagooska's floodgate immediately kicked in and Noor became negated. And because of this, our opponent is going to take advantage of her weakness. But there's still hope. My friend Purely is here to save the day by letting us grab some Purely quick play spells back from the grave. The recursion definitely helps, but our opponent still isn't done. Alright, it's just Little Knight. With 4 Purely spells in our hand, we just need to survive this turn. Awesome, it's our turn and it's time to make a comeback. Our goal now is to get rid of that annoying Bagooska, cause that will shut off almost all our plays. But how will we do it? It's not like we can use our Mimigols or Purelis under the floodgate. It's time to give our opponent a taste of their own medicine. Go, S-Purely Little Knight! Now with Bagooska out of the way, we can start to rebuild our board. Since we used Little Knight's effect, we can't attack our opponent's life points directly this turn. So instead, we're gonna do a Purely's Shine At. To do this, we're gonna let our chunkiest fluffball Plump eat as much as possible again. It's a good thing we have 2 copies of her. Now it's Plump's dinner time. Here's your appetizer, Plump. And your entree. And your dessert. With Plump being super full, we'll bring back out our most powerful fluffball. Go, X-Purely Noor! Unlike last time, our Noor now has a whopping 9 materials on her, and soon you'll get to see her really shine. Unfortunately, we have to deal with Primate and Fiendsmith again because of their recursion. Even with 9 materials on Noor, will this be enough to stop our opponent? With 3 Sleepy Memories, we get to draw 3 cards. Darn, no hand traps. Because we don't want them to grab Primite Drill Beam, we'll stop them here. Go, Expurrly Noir! But our opponent isn't giving in. Here comes the Fiendsmith again. Because we also don't want Engraver to get rid of our spells, we'll stop them here as well. Go, Noir! And now comes the real challenge. Yup, it's Ryzeal. Because Noir only has 2 interruptions left, we really have to use them wisely. Our opponent is definitely now trying to bring out Fiendsmith Desiree for its negation effect, so we're going to have to use 1 interruption to stop that from happening. Go, Noir! We're on our last interruption, but our opponent isn't stopping there. Since Noir is about to get negated, we're forced to use our final interruption. We'll get rid of one of the Ryzeals, but will this be enough to actually stop our opponent from comboing? And it was! Whew! Okay, it's our turn, and this time we're going on the offensive. The goal now is to bring out a certain fluffball that we haven't seen yet. This one loves to attack a bunch, and good thing our opponent has 2 monsters to let that happen. Maybe we could even win this turn. But our opponent does have 6,000 life points. Could we really do it? Because their Little Knight banished Expurrly Noir, Stray Purely Street and My Friend Purely kicked in to really boost our advantage. This is awesome. Because there was about 30 seconds left on the clock, we sadly wouldn't have the time to let our Mimigols come out and play. Sorry, Mimigols. With Purely Happy Memory, we can bring her out. Go, E Purely Happiness! And we have Purely Delicious Memory to boost her attack by 300 for each material on her. She's gonna be a big fluffball. But wait, why did we just use Delicious Memory to make our opponent's monster immune to battle destruction? Don't we want to win this turn? We certainly do. And that monster will now be Happiness's new play toy. You see, Happiness can attack monsters up to the number of Purely Happy Memories she has on her, +1. And with 1 more Happy Memory, we can have Happiness land the final blow. Go, Happiness! Nice, the first challenger is down. The climb gets tougher and our next challenger is Tenpai. Alrighty, here we go. We opened with a pretty solid hand with both Mimigol and Purely starters this time. So here's the plan. We'll start off with our Mimigol so we can... Well, okay. I guess we'll have to shift our strategy. Because we're now under Fuolos and Pyrrhia, we really don't want to be summoning too much. So we'll keep things simple. We can grab Mimigol Room with Dragon and hopefully we'll have enough to stop our opponent next turn with our hand traps. But our opponent's playing Tenpai, so the next turn may very much be our last. Things are already starting out rough. At least we can use Mimigol Room to get an extra body on the field to defend ourselves. But knowing Tenpai's OTK potential, this probably won't be enough. Well, there goes our follow-up. At this point, we have to hope that Effect Veiler and Max C will be enough to stop our opponent. But against Tenpai? Darn, they're about to grab Triple Tactics Talent. Please don't rip out our hand traps. Whew, okay, they're drawing. So we'll use Max C now in case they top deck Ash Blossom. But now we're down to just Effect Veiler. Okay, we definitely need to stop Pydra. Go, Effect Veiler! With Effect Veiler now gone, we have no more interruptions. Will this be it? I guess they got nothing else. Hey, you can't get over our dragon. Whew, we survived. Now it's our turn and it's time to turn things around. So we're gonna go through our Mimigol line to get some bodies on the field and to maybe bait out some hand traps. Because our Mimigols didn't get to play too much last game, it's time to let them have some fun. And every Mimigol needs its dungeon. But of course we can't let Mimigols get all the fun, so here come the Purelies. Because we have Purely Delicious Memory in the grave, it's time to bring out our chunky fluffball. Go, E Purely Pump! A neat thing about Mimigols is that we can use Room to give us more discard fodder for our Purely quick play spells. The plan is to create a really big X Purely Noir to make Tenpai regret trying to OTK us. Because Plump has purely pretty memory as material, Plump can also eat up their monster. But she's far from done. We're gonna give Plump as much food as she wants. Since we can attack this turn, a certain Fluffball would love to come out and play. Go, eat purely happiness! And with each attack, happiness grabs us another purely spell. On a side note, I'm still getting used to playing this deck, so I missed a few chances for our E-Purely to absorb some memory spells. Whoops. Another serving for Plump. Oh, and we can't forget about her effect. Now it's time to bring her out. Go, X Purely Noir! And since we're versing Tenpai, we might as well bring out our honorary guest. Go, Divine Purely AA Zeus Sky Thunder! But we're not stopping there. Come on out, S Purely Little Knight! Our board is looking strong. Let's see what Tenpai can do about this. With 3 sleeping memories, we can draw 3 cards. Ho ho ho! Ultimate Slayer? Sure, we can't react with Noir, but that doesn't mean it affects her. Alrighty, here comes another Hydra. But we're definitely gonna stop Sangan summoning since that protects Tenpai. Go, X Purely Noir! Awesome, but it's not over yet. The climb continues and next up is Ryziel. Alrighty, here we go. We opened with no Mimighouls, but we do have plenty of Purely starters. Maxi already? Well, we might as well use our Purely Quick Play spell so our opponent draws 1 less card. As usual, our goal is to bring out our ultra powerful Fluffball, X Purely Noir. But we're under Max C. Won't that be a problem? But we do have a way around this. It's time to bring out our cozy Fluffball that we haven't seen yet. Go, E Purely Noir! Yep, this is X Purely Noir before growing up. Just like our other E Purelies, she can absorb any Purely memories that we give her. And as thanks, she'll give us a trap in return. So our end board looks pretty weak, but you may be surprised what we can do. You're not stopping us. Go, Purely Eep! Yep, so instead of summoning X Purely Noir during our last turn, we're gonna summon her during our opponent's turn. And because she has more than 5 materials, she's immune to card effects. Although we have interruptions ready for our opponent, they're playing Ryziel, so we'll have to hit them as hard as we can. The goal is to keep them from Exceed summoning Ryziel Detonator or Dual Drive. So as long as we keep the number of monsters in the field just to 1, we should be fine. Or at least we hope. We now only have 2 interruptions left. Will this be enough to stop our opponent? But Ryziels keep coming out. Nora stands her ground, but now she's on her last interruption. This is it. Go, Nor! Whew, it looks like they ran out of resources. Now it's our turn to push forward. Because our opponent has some cards in the back row, we're going to bring out the Mimighouls to help bait out their interruptions. But they're not taking the bait. We're going to use Mimighoul Dungeon to help bring out Master. Maybe then they'll do something. Go, Mimighoul Master! But still nothing. Huh, oh well, but we're not stopping here. We're gonna push forward as best as we can, so we're gonna bring out our Fluffball who loves to attack. Go, E Purely Happiness! A neat thing about Mimigulls is that because they go in our opponent's field, they become play toys for happiness, so she gets to get more materials. But unfortunately, we won't have enough damage to beat our opponent, so we'll just have to prepare for the next turn. Go, S Purely Little Knight! But because we're fighting Raziel, we still won't let our guard down. And just like last time, it's time to transform. Go, Purely Ape! That's the last one. Let's see how our deck held up. So that's Mimigold Purely, an adorably diabolical duo. They may look cute, but together they can tear through even the toughest decks. With Purely, it's all about picking the right fluff ball for the situation and setting up X Purely Nora when the moment's right. I've been running this deck in Diamond for a few days now, and it's been holding up surprisingly well. Right now I'm running 60 cards with plenty of Purely and Mimigold stars to get things rolling, plus enough hand traps to draw into, especially with Sleepy Memory. Overall, the Mimigulls play a strong supporting role, letting Purely's truly shine. If you want more Mimigold action, maybe you'll want to check out my other videos where I pair them with Dogmatika for some seriously fun teamwork. But hey, maybe you'll want to give Mimigold Purely a try. Alright, hope to see you soon. Bye bye!